So I've been meaning to do this for a very long time, record a series of videos to help women who want to know what to expect when they go through an operation, hysterectomy and whatnot. And that's the main reason I am recording this. Well, it's not the main reason, so a few reasons. I'm recording this to help women to get through this experience that I've been through, and I'm also recording this so that I can get it out of me, because it's been quite a heavy time. So this first video might just be like an introduction, and I'm waiting for my vlogging kit so that I can do this properly and the lighting can be better, and obviously I don't look that way the whole time, I look that way. So now I'm recording on my phone, and I've got a bit of a flu still, as you can hear. I'm a bit bunged up. I've been sick for a week with flu. Yeah, okay, so I'm 43 and I have most of my life been healthy, about 90% of my life, and I've always tried to be on the straight and narrow. I've always eaten healthy. I was vegan for a very long time. I didn't touch red meat, or any meat for that matter, for about 20 years, and no animal products. I made sure that whatever I used in my house for a very long time was also vegan. I tried my level best to take in organic. I tried to live a very pure life, as pure as I can. I don't know if that sounds egotistical or whatever, but it is what it is. And 2020 came, people around me got COVID. I didn't get COVID, everything was fine. Granted, I do live on my own. I've lived on my own for quite a long time, since 2012. Anyway, and yeah, and everybody else got sick around me. I didn't get COVID. Some people passed away, some friends passed away, and it was quite a rough time for everybody else out there. And I was doing very well. I was very healthy. My family was doing well, although some of them did get COVID. And then shortly after COVID in 2021, my youngest brother got hijacked, and I had gone through such a traumatic experience. I'll go into more of it in another episode, but for now what I'll say is, after my brother's hijacking, he's okay now, but after his hijacking, my health spiraled out, and from the stress, not just from that but from work, I had then gone downhill with my health very quickly, and I also started eating very badly. I started comfort eating and emotional eating and all of that, because I've always struggled with that, emotional eating and all of that, and that's why I chose the vegan lifestyle, and that's even why I did raw for a very long time, because it wasn't restrictive. I could eat as much as I wanted to on the raw diet, the raw vegan diet, or should I say raw vegan plant-based. I could eat whatever I wanted to, as long as it was raw and it was vegan and obviously healthy. Anyway, so I had eaten quite healthy and all of that, and then my health spiraled out of control, and then I decided, something in me just said, I need to go and book myself into a health facility up in Pretoria. I'm based in South Africa, and this place is called Wichland Hydro. I think it's Wichland Hydro. And we did massaging, hot, cold, what else was there, walking, sleeping. I did a bit of fasting, and the doctor there, Dr. Andre, he did a bit of a scan on me, because my stomach started getting really big and I couldn't get it down. And then he said, no, let's have a look at, maybe, let's see what's going on there. And then he said, oh, I see a little tumor. It was about, I think, 5 centimeters in diameter, And then he said to me, okay, but you know, you still have time. Try to make more changes and get rid of your stress and this and that and whatever. You don't have to be so strict by fasting every day, but make sure that, you know, you eat 100% plant-based and healthy. So I followed his regime and I did everything he said I should, and it went away. And my belly went flatter, and within 2 weeks, by the way, within 2 weeks it went flat. And then after that, I hit stress at work again, and I started getting very lonely and started stress eating again, and this tumor came back. And obviously it was probably there all along, but I didn't, you know, things triggered it. And then what happened was, I went back to another doctor. Actually, I went to the gynecologist, and she then had a look, and she said, listen, this thing is now 10 centimeters. It's grown very fast, so I would recommend getting it cut out. And me being me, all holistic and all of this, I was like, no, I don't want that happening. I'm going to try my best to get it down again. And that was around September 2022. Then August 2022. And then I had a lot of stress at work, and I decided, let me do some more fasting, let me do some juicing, let me do the celery juice cleanse thingy. What is that gentleman's name? I can't remember. Anyway, and I stuck to raw, I did some walking, and for some reason, this tumor just didn't go down. It grew. By November 2022, it was 23 centimeters. So it was like a rugby ball in my gut. And it started taking my energy. Everything I tried, nothing worked. And then I decided, okay, let me go and just check on myself. I don't know, took myself to hospital, asked them to put me on a drip because I felt very, very weak. And then they didn't want to. They're like, no, you're fine, your vitals are fine, you just need to lose weight. So I was like, okay, I'm going home. But I could feel my body was struggling. Then one day, suddenly, I decided to get onto this exercise bike that I had, but it's one of those elliptical bikes, or whatever you call them, standing ones. And then I did half an hour, and I was like, oh, this is really great, I feel good, I think I should just keep exercising every day and keep eating healthy. As I got off of this machine, I passed out. And when I came to, I was extremely nauseous. I went to the bathroom, and as my stomach wanted to go and I wanted to throw up, and I decided, okay, let me sit just in case. And then as I sat, I passed out again. And then when I came to, I was like, okay, something is not right. And then by this time, the tumor was so big, obviously 23 centimeters. I hadn't told anybody except people at work that knew about it, because obviously they saw me at an event with my stomach like that. Some people even said, are you pregnant? Anyway, and then after that, after passing out on the toilet, I came by and then messaged my landlady, my neighbor at the time, and I told her, listen, I'm passing out, can you please just come and check on me? I also messaged the lady at work, one of my colleagues, and I told her what's happening, and she was like, okay, just take it easy. And I lay in my bed. As I lay in my bed, I passed out again. So I think that night I probably passed out 3 or 4 times, 4 or 5 times actually. My neighbor came to check on me, and she was like, you look terrible, you really look really bad. And when she said that to me, I was like, okay, I don't know how bad I look, but I know I feel bad, because I am physically, I can't walk, I can't think, my mood is extremely low. Just thinking back, it was such a hard time for me. It was such a hard time. Anyway, I decided the next day I was going to go to the gynecologist and just get a checkup quickly before I decided to go to the hospital or something. And I got to the gynae and she was like, sure, please come and let's have a look what's going on. And she saw the tumor and she said, look, it's 23 centimeters. And she thought it was growing from my right ovary. Anyway, and then she said, this has got to come out because look at you. You are skin and bone with this extremely huge belly and fluid around the tumor, which means that it was ascites. And if you don't know what ascites is, I'll cover it in another episode. But ascites is fluid that is present in the belly from a typical cancer, like a liver cancer or something like that, or heart failure or something. Anyway, so I had been sitting with this ascites fluid, and that's why my belly was so big, not just because of the tumor. And then she had said to me at that point, she said, don't be in denial. I'm going to phone this professor. I know you don't have a medical aid. Let me phone this professor and let's get you sorted. So she phoned the professor and he said, oh no, she's definitely got to come in immediately. Let's book her in at this hospital. It's a public hospital called Kalafong out in Centurion. And then from there, see what you need to do. Anyway, so she then booked me in for the next day. I went home. I phoned my brother, my sister-in-law for the first time, and I told them, listen, I'm going to the hospital because I have something that needs to be removed. And they were like, what is it? And I said, it's cancer. It's cancer. I've got a tumor. And they were so shocked. They said, okay, we're going to get in the car now and we're going to come and see you. Granted that they hadn't seen me with this big belly before. When they got there, when my sister-in-law and my niece got there, I don't know why this is still affecting me. Why is it still affecting me today? It was like 18 months ago, 20 months ago, November 2022. Anyway, when I opened the door and they saw me, they just burst out crying. They were like, why didn't you tell us? And I said, it's because I'm always the healthy one. I'm always okay. Now, for the first time, I'm sick and I don't know how to deal with it. Anyway, they then immediately sprang into action. Went and bought me some nighties, bought me some goodies to take to the hospital. And by then, obviously, I couldn't keep any food in because the tumor was pressing on my guts. And it was so bad that I started getting a hernia in my solar plexus. And then after that, they took me to the hospital the next morning at 6. Got there at 6. I only got to bed at 10 at night. So that was such a heavy, difficult day. You know, if you know South Africa's public hospitals, you'll understand what I mean. There's an overflow of people and a lack of beds. And the doctors and nurses are working so hard. The staff are working so hard. But the funding that's given to these hospitals is so bad. It's really bad. That's why they go on strike so much. Anyway, I need to blow my nose. Anyway, so then I was in hospital. I was put into hospital. They did some tests. They said, listen, you're too weak. We can't operate on you. You might need to sit for a couple of days so we can put an IV on you and see if we can get your vitals up properly. And I was in that hospital. I gave my phone to my sister-in-law. I said, I don't want to see a phone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to read anything or listen to anything. I'm just going to lie in this bed and exist. Because now I don't know what to do. This is the first time I've ever been sick. Anyway, and then after that, they were then, okay, we've got to do a couple tests and see if this thing is benign, or if it's, you know, if it's the type of cancer that spreads and whatever. So they did all sorts of tests. They tested my intestines. They had a look at scans, CT scans, what is these other things, all sorts of things. I'll go into another episode. And eventually they saw, no, it's a tumor growing on my left ovary. So not my right ovary, but that's how big it was, and kind of bopping about in the fluid in my abdomen. So they then said, okay, we're going to operate, and then we'll see what we can do about everything that's actually going on and get rid of the fluid and all of that. And then they couldn't operate because they were on strike. And then I was sitting in the hospital every single day just waiting for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I was just sitting in that sun, and it was so freaking hot. It was, I mean, this was like proper summer in South Africa. It was the 23rd of November, and I only got operated on the 6th of December. I think it was the 23rd. Anyway, and my brother and my sister-in-law came and saw me every single day with their kids, every day. You know, it's the first time that I've ever felt that loved. Was like, they went out of their way. They went out of the way to come and see me. I made sure I had everything I needed. You know, the shower wasn't working. It was just a cold bath. If you wanted to bath, you could only have a cold bath at the hospital. What else? And eventually when we found out the shower was working, it was a cold shower, but it was so hot. I mean, at one point it was like close to 40 degrees, I think. So I had a cold shower. I didn't wash my hair once. I think I washed my hair once in 2 weeks. And I couldn't stand properly. I couldn't walk properly. Food wasn't staying in. My sister-in-law kept bringing food. It was so funny. She kept bringing baby cereal, purity. We tried all sorts of foods and fruits and things, and nothing stayed in. And eventually, a Woolworths butternut and chickpea curry roti stayed in. And we still joke about it today because I ate that so much after the operation. It was like the only thing that I could eat. It was so weird. Anyway, and then just before the operation, about a day before, the main oncologist, he's a specialist in Pretoria, he called me in, sat there, and he was talking to me, and he said, listen, we're gonna have to remove your womb because it's actually on your womb. And I burst out crying, and he said to me, you know, children are a necessity. Children are a luxury, not a necessity. And that really, really hurt me. It really hurt me. And that's where the trauma and the shock started. Anyway, so the next day I went into hospital. I went into surgery, and I don't remember anything at all. I think I lay there and the mask wasn't on properly, and I told the anesthesiologist, I think that's what you call it. I always struggle with that name, and she said, no, pull it down, thank you for letting me know. So we pulled it down. It wasn't like up in my eyes. And then the operation, 8 hours later, they removed this tumor, and they wanted to show me, and I said, I don't want to see it because I don't want to go through, I'm already going through trauma. But apparently it was the size of a rugby ball, benign. And when I woke up, they said to me they had to remove my ovaries, my womb, everything, and they had to put a vaginal cuff in. And I think at the time it didn't hit me as much as it did a few days afterwards. But I was lying there, and then the one doctor said, well, luckily your stomach is flat because we did that for you. Now you look good. And I remember feeling so shocked the way she handled it. And the thing is, not once did they tell me what to expect afterwards, what to do with the wound afterwards. They didn't tell me what to eat, what to drink. They didn't tell me I'd be constipated for 4 weeks. They didn't tell me I will experience early menopause. They didn't tell me I'll have bleeding for 2 weeks. They didn't tell me that I will have a swollen belly after a few weeks. They didn't tell me anything, nothing. They literally left me there, and they put me on opioids. I was put on opioids and natural painkillers, not natural painkillers, codeine. So I was literally lying in that bed, hallucinating and feeling no pain but hallucinating, and that's when the depression started. That's when it started. Depression, weight gain, menopause, uncertainty about life, my dreams shattered to have kids. There's so much to talk about, so much. I just thought I'd get this video out first because I had it on my mind today. And I don't know why I'm so emotional today, but this is me at my worst. Well, this is not me at my worst. I obviously looked worse than this, but this is me recovering from flu and feeling emotional and just having to get this out. Yeah. What I want to talk about in this videos in this series of Chasing the Moon is what happened prior, what happened during and after, my family. I want to talk about my music career. I want to talk about how I navigated through menopause and still do. How I've been dealing with weight gain. I want to talk about what to do right after the operation, what to expect when you have a full hysterectomy, how to deal with it emotionally. There's a lot to speak about. But this is the first video, and I hope it finds the right people that whoever is watching is going, if you're going through the same thing, or if you're facing this path that's going to that's waiting for you, that you don't have to do it alone, that I can give you some tips and hopefully it will help you, that you don't have to suffer like I did, or like I am. And hopefully this will help somebody, really, and myself in the long run. Anyway, so I've named this channel Chasing the Moon because I had always been chasing the moon being my goals, and wanting to, you know, be a famous musician and this and that and whatever, and make more money. And so I never really had time for relationships and children. I've got a cat, but she does her own thing as well. So yeah, Chasing the Moon. That's the name of my album as well. But here we are. So I hope you'll stick around for the next video. I don't know what it's going to be called, but hopefully my vlogging kit arrives soon. Oh, sorry, my nose. So that I can start making proper videos instead of using my phone. But yeah, I guess this is the intro. My name is Alani, by the way. I keep looking that way. My name is Alani, and I am 43. I live in South Africa. I live in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I am trying my best to love life again after having an operation and losing my womb and feeling really, really ugly. Anyway, all right, this is it. I'm going to hopefully record the next one in a couple days. Thanks for listening.